Yes, today we are glad enough to start our class. Before that, good morning to all of you. And here, me, Professor Saraswati Ghosh, Department of Education, is here to focus on historical foundation of education. Here itself, as last period we talked about philosophical foundation of education. लेकिन with that philosophical foundation, what is the background, historical background about that philosophy that we will be knowing about that historians and some philosophers, reputed philosophers, there itself that importance of historical foundation of education. Today we are studying about education. Why it is important to know about historical education? Why? What is its importance? There itself it says it is that historical foundation of education is important part of professional knowledge base. Teachers need to understand how education and schooling originated, it developed and reached to the present conditions. It is a gradual process. Once it is started, once it is originated, but after being originated, slow and gradual way, it is developing and slowly going to the present status, what it is now. So there is a close relationship, chain relationship, we should understand it, and it is the part of professional knowledge of today's education, modern education. Some contemporary educational issues are solved by examining historical roots of education. If we don't know the historical roots, historical background, historical base, the today's educational problem cannot be solved. To get its proper answer or solution, we must know the historical root of that education. The method nowadays we are knowing, we are following learner-centered pedagogy. It is appropriate one for learning the best. But if we know earlier days, it was not learner-centered, it was teacher-centered. Teacher-centered, teacher was active. The teacher, the guide, the philosopher, they were actively engaged to provide, to impart the knowledge, skills and attitude to their learners. But with that base, with that background, now it is devised learner-centered pedagogy. Now it opens eyes to new ways of living with education. So modern education, what sorts of changes are there? What sorts of developments are there? Research is there itself. It comes through the different ways, starting from originality of education. It opens our eyes to go for the different way, to go for the new way towards the development. It examines how the diverse ancient education and culture of different civilization help us to shape the education today. Earlier, in different ancient culture, different countries, different ancient education, their culture, their values, their civilization, if it was shaped in different way, how it is to be molded, it is to be reshaped for today's need for the society, for the modern society. That is helpful to know the different culture about the world culture, about the world civilization related to education. It also emphasizes educational ideas, thoughts of many notable thinkers contribute to arouse out of human struggle for present survival and enlightenment. If we, as we are concerned with the historical foundation, there itself, many educationists, many thinkers, they put their ideas, they put their thought, philosophical thought in their own way as per the need of the society, that time society. Now also we are borrowing those ideas, those thoughts, ideologies to reshape our education for the development as per the need of the present society. The past educational issues, practices help us to analyze, understand the present context, and empower us to bring the solution for best practice with educational changes and plan for future too. There itself, in past time, some issues, some practices, some problems, it was there. If we examine those and based on that facts, that time past facts, their issues and problems and practices, definitely by examining, by analyzing those, the present context problems, we can understand it well, and as a result we will be powerful to solve our problems in the right way, in different way, in better way, in the line of progress for the human life, that is quality rich life, for standard of life as per the need with global look. Education and culture in pre-literate society. If we go to that historical background of education, first we will consider pre-literate society, what sorts of education, what sorts of educational culture it was there, the ways to pass on the culture and education in pre-literate societies, that was group survival. Trial and error method, they live in the society for that was their cultural pattern. Not individual life, they live in being together. They have that cohesiveness, they have that unity. As a result, the group survival, they do it within that society, within that culture. As a result, their values, their moral codes, group language, and their things to be followed, things to be denied, it is to be clearly mentioned, and they follow it accordingly. As a result, their daily life, their tribal rituals, by dancing, by music, by drama, it was reflected. So the past life, not by this reading material, that this printed materials, they did it. No, by the way of group survival, they learn it. As I told you, education, that is for behavioral change, how to behave, how to live, how to earn knowledge, how to get the things in a right way by changing the thinking, changing the attitude, changing the life to help others. So that is day-to-day life. That was earlier days, that was group survival skills. Informal teaching by parents, by elders, by relatives, by neighbors, by priests, they had the informal teaching. As I told you, 3 types of teaching: formal teaching, non-formal teaching, and informal teaching. Today, formal teaching, non-formal teaching, where we are following today in our school education, college education, university education, open school, open university, that way we are getting our education. But in prehistorical time, that time what it was their education in formal way with the help of their parents, how to live, how to learn, how to get the things, to do the things better, to survive in better. That way their parents help, elders, relatives, neighbors, priests in church, they teach the students in an informal way. Now, gender specific roles, boys, they were engaged mostly in hunting process, hunting their main occupation, and fishing. Girls, mostly they were meant for their occupation like food gathering and preparing food. Gathering and preparing food, that was their main occupation. Accordingly, they survive it, they learn it, they change their behavior. Oral tradition, it was another way in that preliterate time before knowing reading and writing. Oral tradition storytelling, by telling story, by music, by recitation, they learn it from parents, from elders, from relatives, from priests. That was helped by storytelling, music, recitation, they learn from others. Human-made technology, that time the technology they used like spears, like axe, like other tools to survive, to protect themselves from animals, from other wild animals like a tiger, like lion. From them they want to survive, they want to protect themselves. So that time what technology is needed in that situations, they created and they saved themselves. Symbols, signs, pictographs, letters, like written language, cultural leaps to the literacy, then to the schooling. That time some symbols, some signs, some pictorial form they used and they learn it. Not like this reading material, text, journals, magazines, newspaper, all those things what we are getting with the help of this digital in this digital age. That time it was not, but they have their survival with the help of education in different ways. Education and culture in ancient Chinese civilization. In China, the philosophy, Chinese philosophy, rooted in the past on political, on social, on educational development, that was concerned to develop in those areas mostly, social area, political area, and their education, how it is to be developed as it is the entrance gate for the development of human life. They focused the political life, how to govern us, how to live in the society along with others. So, and social life, where they live together, how to make the relationship, how to interact, how to communicate. They focused in these three areas: political, social, and educational. Strong influence on one's thought and behavior. Whatever individual thought was there or behavior it was there, it impact on others. And education, it was memory based and it was eager to learn, respect of knowledge and regards to teachers. See, what we are emphasizing today, it is not exactly deviated from that ancient periods. Ancient period in Chinese culture, Chinese educational civilization, there itself, they focus the same thing, memory based learning, eager to learn. What they learn from teachers, that was not enough. Learners, they were eager, interested, enthusiastic to learn more and more. That was also emphasized. And the respect of knowledge, to learn, to know more and more things day by day, updated, that was also highly regarded. And regards to teachers, regards to parents, regard to elders. So there was hierarchical system. And education, it was education centered primarily on family rather than on society. So whatever learning was there, it was started from family and slowly, gradually, it was focused on the development of society. Maintaining of unbroken culture community. Because unbroken culture, they thought their culture is best culture. No culture, no other culture will be superior to them. For that only, they thought whatever values, whatever culture, whatever system, traditions, whatever it is, that will be continued for long time, forever rather. It is unbroken one because our culture is the best culture. That was their thought. And little creativity, little incentive for creativity, that was a limitation. As I told you, they were well advanced regarding their knowledge, regarding their teachers, regarding the disciplines. But see, this is the drawback point. Little creativity was there. They don't promote the creativity, new things, newness, innovation. It was not highlighted. It was not highly appreciated. And there was no incentive also for creativity. Motivational cash or kind, it was not introduced. As a result, what we today think, if motivational award will be there, cash will be there, kind will be there, person will be happy and they will do better and better. But that time it was the limitation in that culture, in Chinese culture. Religion, it was strong and cultivation of self, more individual than corporate. There itself, their individual life, it was highlighted. At the same time, it was the cultivation of oneself. How one will be developed as a sound individual, sound personality, that was as per their religion. And emphasize on axiology. Axiology means that values and ethics, then ontology, then that nature, then that natural existing belief. So they emphasize on values, on ethics, on logics. That way it was the culture in China. Religion, it was more humanistic as God, sin as impersonal. More humanistic thing, humanistic they believe, today as we believe also. What is good one? What is godly things? If we serve the people, that will be much better than thinking that offering fruits and so many things that is to God, that is not important. They think if we serve the people, serve the humanity, that will be much better than serving or worshipping God. Golden mean of life. What does it? The average life. Becoming much happy, becoming much sorrowful. That is not good enough. We should maintain our life in a balanced way. That will be our golden mean of life. Each and every one should be satisfied whatever one gets in a present situation. We should, suppose we are getting high grade, good grade, A++, then that time we are happy, we are laughing and we are enjoying and killing the time and spoiling the situation. That way it will not persist for a long time. Yes, certain period we will be happy. If some, God should not do this way also, we don't deserve that. Like if someone is suffering from sorrows or grief, if someone will go deep and deep with that sorrows, that will be harmful to that person. So for that only, what it should be? One should maintain the balanced status. To live not too much happy, not too much sorrow. So that way it should be golden mean of life according to Chinese culture. Strong belief that education and etiquette would make the person moral. So through that education itself, there is a belief we can change our manner, which can change our behavior, our characteristics, our way of life to live in the present society. Confucius is a great Chinese teacher and philosopher. He stressed political and social stability by devising ethical systems, the morality, the values as necessary for good life. Education and culture in ancient Egyptian civilization. Egypt, that culture, if we go, both education and religion, same goals of life and preparation for afterlife. What they thought of education and religion, they have their same goal. What is the goal for education? What is the goal for education and as well as religion? That is the same, no difference. Where they think of we are going for preparation for afterlife. But today we emphasize present life is important by education. But that time Egyptian they thought of for what we are educating ourselves, that is for future life, afterlife. After this life, next life, it will be good enough if our education is there in this life. That was highlighted. For them, religion tended to govern our all aspects of life. They put their emphasis on religion as it is everything to govern our all aspects, physical, mental, social, economical, cultural aspects of life where we live, that will be governed by religion. Religion was highly emphasized and religion was highly polytheistic. Many gods are there, they believe. Many gods are there. Not they believe in God, they believe in religion and believe religion is strong enough, religion is influential enough, religion can change our life. So everything that was there, that aims, it was also meant for education too. Education was vocational, job and work oriented, not liberal. Education, what we are learning according to Egyptian belief and civilization, what education we are earning, that education can help us. Tomorrow we will settle our life. It will be job oriented. It will be work oriented. We can get the job. We will make our life sound enough, economically sound enough to live in the society happily. Education was harsh, but not liberal. It was not for our enjoyment. It was not for our pleasure. Like Greek people, they thought of what education we are doing, we are pursuing, that was according to our own interest, own enjoyment, own pleasure. That was liberal. But according to Egyptian, it was opposite. Education, it was meant for vocation, work and career oriented. Education was harsh. Students were often beaten. Nowadays, there is no stick in the class. But at that time, Egyptian, they used the all sorts of rules, regulation and harsh procedures to make the students well disciplined. Even beating practice, it was there also, and education was quite harsh. And religion and political principles were of divine origin. So they believe that religion, it is everything in our life to govern us. So that way, if we follow it, if it is the base of our life, if it is the principle of our life, that is to be strictly followed because it came from divine origin. Godly matter, godly thinking, godly behavior. So that way we should take it. Religion is everything according to Egyptian civilization. Knowledge and values reflect on an orderly, unchanging and eternal cosmos where knowledge and values, if we learn it, then definitely it will be unchanging, means forever it is to be continued. It is to be reflected in our life and godly belief, God will be satisfied, God will be highly accept our own behavior if we follow our own way, knowledge and values in a right way, reflective way, in an orderly manner. Education that can help Egyptians were both otherworldly and this worldly. They believe present life, it is right one. And also we believe after death, this life, after death, again further life will be there. They had that. This type of both sorts of belief, both life, present life and after life, after death, again life will be there. Whereas Chinese people, they thought of what? They prepare, they get that education for after life. Here there, the scripts they used, hieroglyphic script, they used ancient people, ancient Egyptians, and they, with that script, they preserved their religious material. Religion, that was at the top of their life, that is to be intact, maintained forever. So with that hieroglyphic script, they use political material, medical literature, everything that is to be kept for long time. That was with the help of script. Educated bureaucracy to collect and record the text, that was there also one way to maintain their governing, the structure, governing systems, they maintained it. As a result, Egyptians did some considerable influence on Greeks. Next one, after Egyptian culture, we will go for that Greek culture. That Greek culture, it was highly influenced by Egyptian cultures. So we can continue our Egyptian and Greek culture next period. For this, if you have any question, you can ask me if you have any questions. Otherwise, you can take this assignment. You write a assignment about the ancient Chinese civilization, the educational culture, in respect to educational culture. Ancient Chinese educational culture as well as ancient Egyptian culture in respect to education, that you should write assignment, and next time I will ask you questions, and after that we will go for that Greek culture in respect to education and how they influence for today's education, that we will highlight, and we will make the relations how we are influenced by these cultures also. Thank you all.